happy with the way things have gone. There's probably some games that they could have won, but there's some things they got away with too. Opening day comes to mind, right? You fall in a hole, but you have a big 9-run inning. So, bottom line is, I think they played pretty well. The starting pitching has been great. They had the one game in Chicago that blew up on them. But if they can just continue to be consistent, I think you can see where they're going to win a lot more games this year than they have in recent years.
And what is it like to call Jacob DeGrom and to see those 100-mile-an-hour missiles come through?
And I'm telling you, it is like, you get to see great players every now and again, but there's something, like every once in a while there's that guy who's just so much different than everybody else. He's that guy. It is electric. All right, every time he's on the mound, it is electric. And it's a thrill, man. It's a thrill to watch, a thrill to see, and I just can't believe that we're on the right side of it, right? I mean, he's our guy, so it's pretty awesome.
And the job of Bruce Bochy so far, do you like what you're seeing?
Yeah, he's not a surprise there, right? I mean, he's done it and had great success over the years, and the one thing that stands out is the way he's handling the bullpen, man. He's always got the right guys ready for the right spots, and he's thinking ahead. He sees the left-rights coming. I think it's really been interesting to watch that. If for nothing else, then you're able to juxtapose it against other things you've seen. You're like, wow. I mean, he's definitely just that little half step ahead of everybody else.
I like that. And I have to ask you, where is Bubba Thompson amongst the fastest players you've ever seen play baseball?
He's about as fast as they get. There's some dudes, all right. I think of Willie Wilson. He was fitting with these guys. Yeah, I was just thinking of him today. Because growing up, I used to kind of dig that team. They were good, and Willie could circle the bases in a hurry. I think he had some 13 inside the park home runs in his career, so he could run. But Bubba, the other day had that triple, and he made it from home to third in 11.7 seconds, something like that. And he was coasting for half of it. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like if he pushed it, what he could do, it's definitely unusual.
And Adolis Garcia, I want your perspective. Are people going to finally start to notice him around the league? Do you think is he the most underrated outfielder in the bigs?
He might. That's actually a pretty good call. He might be the most underrated outfielder. Look, the guy can hit. He's got massive pop. We've seen it. Drove in 100 runs last year. But then defensively, the guy gets to everything. Has maybe the most lethal arm in the outfield in the game. Certainly top 5 arm. I'm always amazed when people run on him. It just blows my mind, but I love it, right? And I do think he put some effort into deking people into running on him so that he can throw them out. Now, most overrated, maybe. Most exciting, I think probably, right? Because what he does on a daily basis, he works in something ridiculous pretty much every day, certainly every series. You're going to see a throw, a running catch, whatever, every series that is like kind of get up out of your chair and clap moment. He's pretty awesome.
I love it. And this bullpen, some people had some concerns about it, but so far it's obviously very early in the season, but could this actually end up being a strength maybe?
My feeling on bullpens are any given year you just don't know until it happens, right? Until the light goes on and guys get put in spots. You're not going to know how it plays out until they do it. And some of that's health, some of that's just the vagaries of up and down years. And that's why you think you see so much turnover in bullpens year over year is, they're willing to use guys hard, ride them hard for a year and then put somebody else in. But this bullpen, with Hernandez healthy, with Leclerc healthy, and coming back last year and having a little bit of time to get back at full speed, that was critical. But then I think the veteran adds, Kennedy, Will Smith, those are critical too, just to have a little ballast out there for these guys. But right now, it looks like they have a makeup of being something pretty good. The long relief's been really good, right? Dunning and Hearn and these guys, Cole Reagans. So whatever it is they've asked, right? Whether it's the tight spots or the long rolls, everybody's been able to do their job really well. And good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. That'll play over the course of a year, man.
Absolutely. And obviously the first Houston series is coming up. I know you haven't seen any action from it, but Do you think this might be the year where the Rangers can possibly stack up against that club?
I hope so, right? And part of that's going to be, again, can Houston stay healthy, and what's going on in their bullpen at any given time. But I think when you want to evaluate head-to-head matchups this year with this Rangers team, you have to go back and start with the pitching, man. With that starting pitching that the Rangers run out there every day, I know there are other great staffs, there are other great pitchers in the game, there's no question. But if you're seeing DeGrom, Eovaldi, Martin, Perez, and or John Gray, Andrew Heaney, like that's a deep rotation, man. If those guys keep making starts, then yes, they're going to compete with everybody. I mean, I don't care who it is. Yes, they can compete, and they could win every series they're in with those guys going.
I like that. And what have you seen from Josh Jung so far as well? What do you like about what you're seeing out there?
I don't want to say this in any way to be disrespectful of Josh, but I've been surprised to the upside, man. You know, he came up last year and he had his time, but he struck out a lot. We saw the power, but he struck out a lot, and I was a little worried about that. And then I wasn't real sure defensively how he would look, how it would hold up every day. And I think looking back on it now, you know, that had to be pretty nerve-wracking. There was, at the beginning of the year, there was really no shot of him coming up to the big leagues last season. So when he came up, that was a surprise. I think it's probably a little overwhelming the first time for most guys. And I think there were moments where it was bigger or faster for him than maybe he would have wanted. But man, he seems comfortable now. I mean, he's making all the plays. He's playing, I would say, an above average third base defensively. And offensively, he looks really calm, like kind of got that slow heartbeat. The power's there. He's come up big in some big moments already this year in the first 9 games of the season. So, yeah, I think, again, pleasantly surprised. Wasn't sure exactly what it would look like. You know, maybe there'd be more growth this year and some more pains that come with that sometimes. But so far, man, he's looked every bit the part.
All right, and I'm going to get you out of here on a personal one and a fun one. Just what has it been like to call Texas Rangers baseball games? I'm sure it's a childhood dream. And just, do you have a favorite Rangers call so far in your career?
Favorite Rangers call, that's a good one. I mean, there have been a couple of cool moments, right? I think Beltre's 3,000th hit is a pretty cool moment. It so happened that the first year when I was kind of filling in, I got to do the series in Oakland when they clinched in 2016. That was really fun. But yeah, man, just calling big league games, and I think this town, you know, I think it's kind of a sleeping giant. Obviously, the last couple of years we haven't been real good. I think as this team continues to play well, and people start to pick up on that, and the legends of Jacob DeGrom and some of these guys begin to grow here, this is going to be a wildly cool place to be. And when they start winning divisions and going to the playoffs, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's a great baseball town. You know, I know that comes up every now and then. I think it's a great baseball town. You can look at the attendance records over the years and stuff, good and bad. For the most part, they keep showing up and they keep supporting this team. It's a great place to be. It's a great place to be.
Dave, really appreciate the time. Best of luck this season, and really appreciate it.
You betcha. My pleasure, man.